Hello friends, today in this tutorial we will be building a CRUD kind of an application inside Firestore using the Next.js framework. So basically you can see that this is a WYSIWYG editor here. Basically it's a rich editor where you can add post, delete post, update post, and also read all the posts which are present inside the Firestore database. So you can see this is our database, and here we are storing all the collections out there. This is a collection, this is a table which is called as notes. So here we are storing all the blog post. So let's suppose inside my front end, which is Next.js, I click this button of add new button. So you can see this will be the input field will be there, which is enter the title. So if I enter any sort of title here, so this is the blog post title here, guys. You can see that, and inside the description, let me paste it, and here we can change this to heading 1 like this. This is a WYSIWYG editor, so it's a rich editor. We can also have just make this text only bold as well, and this text I will make it italic like this, and this text I will make it underline. So you can see all these operations, you can perform it. You can bold any sort of text, you can underline it, you can change the italic, and also you can insert the link as well. So click on this, just put this, you will simply say click on this link to go to Google. So also you can link it as well. So if you see here, you can go to any link here, https, let's suppose google.com, click on save. So this is now a link here. Basically now you can see it's a underline here, it's in blue color, and also here similarly we can have ordered list as well like this, and similarly we can have unordered list as well like this. So then we can quickly simply save this note here, and now if you refresh it, now this is the title of the blog post that you can see here. It is inserted. If I check the database of Firestore, and if I refresh here, basically if I refresh my backend of Firebase, you will now see a newly created blog post will be inserted here. If I check here, you will now see basically this is a note description, H1 tag, Kane Williamson is the captain, or you can see paragraph, then you can see. So all this is converted to HTML, and it is successfully inserted to the Firestore database. So if I click any of the individual, if I click on this blog post, guys, so on the right hand side you will now see this will show here, but whatever we have previously written, you can see in the live preview it is showing you Kane Williamson, the captain. You can see this will be in the bold text. So this is a link here, guys. If I click to this link, it will redirect me to google.com. This is your ordered list, unordered list. So basically it's a kind of a blog that we have created. So it's a blog that we have created using the WYSIWYG editor. So you have seen these WYSIWYG editors, guys, inside WordPress as well. So basically if you build your own website, you have called as WYSIWYG rich text editor. So let's suppose I want to add a new blog post on my website. So again I see this WYSIWYG editor, guys. You can see bold, italic, all that stuff is available. So similarly we are integrating this inside our own application, which is this, you can see here, WYSIWYG editor. And for including this, guys, we are using a library called as if you all know this library, react-quill. react-quill is a library which we are using here, react-quill. This is a library, guys. It's a very good package which is available for wrapping this editor, which is Quill rich text editor. So Quill is the name of the text editor. So this is the text editor we have. So it is available for any language: Angular, React.js, Vue.js, JavaScript. It's a powerful, rich text editor. So specifically, in order to include it inside Next.js and React.js application, we have this library react-quill. So you can check out this rich text editor, guys. It's very popular, open source. It's It is not a paid text editor. You can download this on inside your computer. So in this way we are doing this stuff, and the rest of the operations, if you want to update it, you can click the edit button. If you click the edit button, you can change the title to any title of your choice. You can also change here like this. After updating it, you can click the update note button. If you click it, it will refresh, and now you can see your title is changed, your description is changed, all that stuff is changed. And now if you want to delete it, you can simply click the delete button, so it will delete it, your note. Also you can delete this note as well. So no note is present right here, guys. If you check here, nothing is present here. So no document is present here. So we need to create a notes collection or table. So inside this, ID will be automatically generated, and note title, here we can give anything here. We have just two fields out there, note title and note description. That's it. So if you click save this, so one document will be inserted here, and if you now refresh your application, it will definitely work here. So it will show this. You can now see. So this is a title and this is a description. So that's it. So in this way, guys, you can do this stuff very simple. We will try to build it from scratch. If you are watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. If you're watching it for the very first time, so please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it for the very first time. So let's start building this application, guys, from scratch. So the very first thing we will do is that we will go to our, so let me just give you the full source code, guys. So for this application, I have written a complete blog post on my tutorial website codingsiksha.com. So here you will find all the source code step by step. So in the live chat, let me give that source code to you. So if you want the full source code, you can here go to this link here and basically get all the source code and follow along with the video. Let me pin this message right here at the very top. So now, first of all, guys, what we will do is that we will go to the projects directory, and simply here we will make a new directory here, which is React editor, sorry, React block. We will cd into this, and now we will make a new next app here, which is React block. So this will create a new Next.js project, guys, inside this directory. So React is necessary for Next.js, as you all know, basically. So it will install this. So simply wait. It will hardly take 6 to 7 seconds for installing this. So now it is just installing it. So now it has successfully installed it, guys. So we can simply go into the folder, which is React block. So we can now open this inside Visual Studio Code text editor. So basically this is your brand new Next.js project, guys. So we can now open this. And for doing this, we need to install some dependencies. So first of all, we will install this dependency. We will be using Sass for this tutorial. So you need to install Sass, and also we will install react-quill library, which is this library in order to connect to WYSIWYG editor. So just go to the command line and simply type this command: npm i sass sass, and then react-quill. And thirdly, we also need to install Firebase. So install this 3 dependencies, guys, which will be necessary for this project, which is Sass, react-quill, and Firebase. So this will hardly take 5 to 10 seconds, and it will install these dependencies inside your project. So now you can see it is successfully installed it. So now we can start your server. Npm run dev. So this will start this at localhost 3001. So this is our brand new Next.js app, guys. You can see that this is a welcome screen, and now we need to first of all configure the Firestore database, guys. So just create a new Google account and simply go to your Firebase project settings, and simply you need to create a add new app button here. And when you click your add app button, you will get these instructions basically. So this is a newly created app, web app, and you will get this Firebase config object. So this object will be unique for you guys, so don't copy my object. So inside your root directory you will create a file which is firebase config.js. So this is a file that we have created. So now inside this file, guys, first of all you need to import the initialize app function from firebase slash app. And also we need to get the Firestore reference, so get Firestore, and this needs to be imported from firebase slash Firestore, like this. So now basically we will import this Firebase config object, guys. This will be different for you, so don't copy my details here. And also at last we need to export two variables, which is app. So here we will initialize this app passing this Firebase config object here. So next we need to also export our database, Firestore database. So in order to connect it, we will say get Firestore and pass this app reference. That's it. So this completes the coding inside this file, guys. You can now close this file, simply close it. And now inside you can need to move to your pages directory and inside your home page. And here we don't need anything here, simply you need to delete all this stuff. We don't need the footer like this. So here you can change the title that Next.js blog post CRUD app in Firestore. So this is meta tag, link tag, so this image we don't need. So inside this, guys, we will be, if you see, we need to make two components for showing the blog post details and also for adding it. So I have given all the source code in the description of this live stream. So first of all, what we need to do is that let me see. So some comments are there. Let me know. Hi, DSA Champ is there. Tutu Herman is there. So keep watching this tutorial, guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. And if you see here, I have this index.js file. Yeah, there is it. So this is the file I require. So basically, guys, here what we will do is that we will simply paste it here inside this. So here what we are doing, guys, you can now see, let me show you from scratch. So you can see that after this head section, let me tell you what we are doing right here. We are basically, let me delete this first of all. We will make this component which is called as note operations. So basically this note operations will take this function which is single note. So we need to now make this function here right here at the very top, which is get single note, and basically we will pass the ID to this function. So now we will be having a which is ID set ID, and we will use the useState hook, and initial value will be null. And here inside this function we will call this hook function, and we will initialize this ID. So so we will create this react.js component, guys, which is note operations, and we are passing this function as a property. You can see that this is a function here. So basically we are passing this function as a property. So this will be called as get single note. So now inside your root directory you need to create a components folder, and here you need to create your first component, which is note operations. From the name itself, it will perform all the operations, CRUD operations, such as create, read, update, delete. So it's a functional component. So basically we will simply say here export default function note operation. So we will not require this line. So right here, guys, what we need to do is that first of all we will have a simple form where we will show the form to the user so that they can insert some blog post inside our Firestore database. So right here, basically, in order to show this, we will have a simple form. So right here, guys, basically we will have a div, and which will have a class name of styles dot input container. So we will be writing the styles later on, guys, inside our styles folder. If you see here, we have the styles folder. We will create a new SAS file for this. So for now, simply write the styles dot input container. And right here, guys, we will have a simple input field of input, and we will be giving a class name once again to the styles dot input, and placeholder will be simply we will say here enter the title, and then that's it. So here, guys, we need to import the styles here, which is, so right here inside the styles folder, guys, we need to create a file evernote module.sas. This will be a SAS file, guys. So basically just do it, and inside your components folder you can import this at the very top. Import styles from our styles folder, sorry, uh, dot slash slash. So where have we have created this? Let me see. Inside our components folder. So dot let me see, dot styles evernote module.sas. This is a file here. Note operations.css. Yeah. So after this, guys, basically here we will also have some hooks variable. So right here inside this component, so basically here we will have here, first of all, for the note title, there will be a function to set that title. So set note title. So initial value will be use state, we will again use, will be empty by default. Same goes for the description. For the node description, set node description, initial value will be empty. Like this, guys, you can now see. And we will be storing all these blog posts, guys, inside an array. So we will simply call this as notes array, and function will be set notes array, and initial value will be an empty array. So basically like this. So basically, guys, if you see here inside our index.js, we are passing this function as a property. So get single note. So right here inside this, so this will be passed as, you can see. we are passing this function as a property, so get single note. So here what we need to do is that here we need to assign the value here, which will be nothing but simply this node title, and also now we will have the second field for the description. So basically here we will here we will have, for the description we will have a, if you clearly see here, we will have a class name which is called styles.react-quill. So basically here guys we need to embed that WYSIWYG rich text editor. So we will include this react-quill. So it will be imported right here at the very top from react-quill, you can now see. So this text editor guys basically takes some options. The value it will take automatically from that hook function, which is node description, that's it. And now we will be attaching the on change as well guys. So whenever the value changes here inside this input field, so this automatically execute this function, which is e parameter will be passed as event. So here we will call this hook function, which is set node title is equal to e.target.value, that's it. Similarly we will assign this on change to this also, which is on change, and here we will be calling this function, which is add description. So this function we will call, which is a custom function, and after this guys we will have a simple button which will simply say save note, and we will also give it a class name. So this class name will be styles.save button, and also we will be attaching a on click to it. So when we click this button, we need to insert the data inside the Firestore database. So we will create this function, which is save note. So now we need to create these functions here right at the very top guys. So the very first function we will create is this save note, which will actually save the note. So save note, this will be an arrow function. The next function we will create is this add description, which will again be a arrow function. So whenever the value changes of this WYSIWYG rich text editor, the value will be passed here like this. So we can now set this value, set the node description to the value, that's it. And after this guys, what we need to do is that inside this save note, we need to insert the data to Firestore database. So for connecting to the Firestore database guys, we need to first of all get the instance of the database. So we can declare a variable here right at the very top, db instance, and here we will get the collection. So collection will be imported from Firebase/Firestore. So the collection, we will pass the database first of all. Database will be coming here, you can now see will be coming from Firebase config. So you will see inside Firebase config we have exported this variable, which is database. You can see here. So database is connected. You can see it is coming from this Firebase config. So now we need to give the collection name. So collection name is nothing but the table name. You can give any name of your choice, but I will give here, let's suppose, blog post. So now just go to your editor guys. So go to your Firestore database, and simply you need to create this collection. So just delete your existing collection, which is notes. Just delete it and simply click on start collection and simply give the collection name, which is blog post. Click next. This will automatically generate it, and this will be node title. This will be a string. You can have anything. This will be node description. This will be a string also. So simply click save. So now your collection has one record here, which is node title and description. So now we can put this collection name here. So now we inside this save node, guys, we can call this simple method which is add document, which is there inside Firestore to insert a new document. So here we will pass the DB instance, put a comma, and then we need to pass the data which we need to insert into the document. So this will be node title, which will be equal to the node title, and node description is equal to node description. So you can see this is the same column name that we are writing here. If you clearly check here, if we have defined these column names inside Firestore database, this needs to be same, node title, node description. So now basically this will return a promise. We will handle this by dot then, and this will return a callback function. So basically here we will clear out the entries by setting set node title to once again empty, set node description to what's once again empty, and that's it. And now basically if you refresh it, guys, hopefully if I go to localhost 3001, so basically it will tell me that styles is not defined. So now you need to define these styles, guys. So inside your this file here we need to uh, define these styles. So this video is not about CSS, but uh, let me just write it if you want to. This we are importing some custom fonts here of Google, and then we have these variables, guys, for the coloring scheme. So this is very much useful inside SAS. You can define your own colors as well. Anytime if you want to change it, you can simply change the variable, and then you have to give container class a simply a display flex width of 30 rem. You will style your button input field like this. This is a save button. So I will not write it, guys, simply paste it just to save some time because this video is not about SAS or CSS. Simply just write this now, you will see if you refresh it. So it is saying that styles is not defined. Oh sorry, I think inside our root component, root page, we haven't imported this. So we need to import this. Styles, which is home module dot css. I think this is the name here of the file, home module dot css. So if you now refresh it, so if you check here, if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So if I clearly check here inside my index.js, so we need to copy this file, sorry, not the home one. So simply copy this one, which is evernote module.sas. This is a file here. So it contains this container class, you can see that. So now if you refresh it, hopefully this time, so it is saying note operations is not defined. So we need to include that component. So right here, so note operation is defined here. So it is saying that document is not defined. If you see here, if I note operation, so get single, I think some error has taken place, which is note operation Let me rename this to note operations. So why it is saying this? So it is saying that document is not defined. What is- let me paste that code, guys. I think I am just doing some mistake inside the index.js. Let me paste it here. Paste this code here like this. So we are passing this as a property. So here let me delete this one. So node operations, we are calling it. So hopefully if I refresh it now, can't resolve the component which is not operational. Sorry, here we need to import, rename this to not operations, sorry, not operations, like this. Just do it like this. Import note operations for components note operations. So now note operations. What is this error? Is the document is not defined? Let me see, guys. I think I'm making a silly mistake out there. Oh, I think I haven't included the SAS module here. So that's the problem, guys. I think SAS. So if I just rename this to CSS, guys, don't SAS. Let me just rename this to CSS. So let me change the color to black, color to. I think it is doing it because of the SAS here. So remove this. So now this is a CSS file here, so we can simply include the CSS file. Just change it to CSS and also here also. So if you refresh it, Just start this application once again. So it is running on localhost 3000, so it is successfully compiled. So basically it is saying that it is a server error. So oh, I made the dumbest mistake, guys. You can now see this needs to be in the pages directory. This components, I have initialized it inside, outside. You can now see we have initialized these components to be outside. So that's not the way. You need to create this components folder inside the pages directory. So you need to do like this. This was the mistake that we are doing here. So just node details for JS. That's the thing, guys, that we are doing it. So that's the thing that we are doing, guys. So just replace it with, just rename it to SAS, guys. So now this file will definitely work. There was no error with the SAS, it was just this problem. We need to delete this folder here. Just delete it and go to index.js and simply here also include this file. So now hopefully, guys, this will now work. If you refresh it, so it is saying that can't resolve note operations. Let me see. Just delete this line and include this note operations. So now you can see it is included this. Can't resolve Firebase config. Firebase config. Firebase config. Sorry. Like this. Hopefully, guys, not will see. Let me just say here hello world. Why this is showing me document is not defined? So someone watching here, guys, in the comment section, can you tell me why it is showing me document is not defined every time? Because I moved this folder. If you see here, that was a problem. You need to define this components folder in the pages directory, which is node-details.js. So right here, oh sorry. अरे यार, node operations है यार. Why I'm doing silly mistakes now here? This is note operations. I was doing it, not details. So now if you reload the page, guys, hopefully this time. So nothing is present here. Let me write something here. So now it is working here. As I include this component, which is note operations, export default function note operations. Note operations is not defined. Yeah, I've defined है. Hello world. Yes, we can now run this. And now see. At last we can run this now guys. So we need to pass this attribute to this. So we need to pass it get single note. So get single note. This function we will pass it as a property. So now basically we will paste it. Now guys. So here we will paste our simply we will paste it inside this div. Basically here we will paste the form that we written previously guys. So this will be input field out there. Set node description is not defined. This needs to be set node description. This needs to be node description. This needs to be update note. We don't need to write here. You just refresh it now. Hopefully guys it is working now. So this is your title field guys, you can now see. So basically we need to import this styling. We need to also import the styling. So I think it is for the edit button. Array. This is not operations. This is a file that we need to save. I am full confusion in this video guys. Sorry for this. This needs to be this, not this. Let me paste it. Format this document. So it is saying some error is there. So add description is not defined. Sorry, this needs to be add description. This is to be node description. So if you have this now, if you document is not defined. Sorry. So hit the like button guys, subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it for the very first time. I will make sure that I complete this app. So basically there is so much errors out there. Why? I think let me surround this. So refresh it now. Yeah. Just let me see guys now. Let me delete this. and also delete this. So basically here we will have a simple button. Basically it will say that add a new note. So it is note operations. So let me paste it once again. So I think what we are doing right here, here we are looping through, we are displaying all the nodes, so we will do it later on. And this is the, if you, if I refresh this page, document is not defined. Let me search this error, guys, why this error is taking place so much. Document is not defined. Let me move on to this project, guys. So let me open this. Uh, Let me start this project which was working early on. So npm run dev. And let me start this. So you can see localhost 3001. So it has started this at so if you go to localhost 3001, guys, so this was the previously working application. Now you will see that. So if you check the database, so that is not working because we changed the database name here. So that's why it is not working. So if you change this database name to blog post, so now this will work. If I refresh it, so basically it is saying that single node not title. So here we need to change it here, which is blog post. This is the collection name. So if you refresh it now, so this will display this. Now you can see that. So basically what we need to do is that here we will, we will delete this node details section here and start from scratch. So we were there. If you see here, we were there here. We have successfully created this form here. If you clearly see here, let me delete this. So we have that form, guys. So let me also delete this. We have written this function save note, which will actually insert the data inside the Firestore database and also this add description. So now we have this hooks variable. So right here we have this database, guys. So we change the name is blog post, which is the collection name. So right here, guys, if I now refresh the page, it is saying that failed to read source code from. Uh, so I think it is coming because of inside this file. You can now see. You also need to delete this like this. So inside note operations, we will delete this. So up till now we have this now, guys. If you see clearly see here, let me change this to blog post, the collection name. So it is so react-quill. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. So two people are watching the stream. So first of all, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. क्या है यार Imagine not using TypeScript. No, I'm not using TypeScript here. It is just JavaScript, but sometimes it can create some problems while live coding it. Early on, I developed this project, no problem was there, but now all of a sudden problems occur. So you can't say in live coding errors can display. So note operations, let me copy this code here and paste it. So now hopefully guys, now you can see that. क्या हो गया? So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So basically, let me see guys, what is. So now let me paste this whole code here. And now if you, so there is a button add new note here. So if you click this button, it will toggle this text editor. So here you can enter the title, enter the description. So here for this you need to change the collection name, which is a table name, to blog post, because inside our Firebase store we have created this collection which is blog post. So right here guys, what we need to do is that if you see, one collection will be displaying here. You can now see this is a collection. If you click it, click save note, so one collection will be again be added. You can now see. So this is perfectly working here. If I click anything here, if I make it as heading, click again save note. So our collection is now inserted. So now if I check the Firestore database, 3 records will be present right here. So you can see that. So you can now see we are calling this function save note in order to add a new record inside the Firestore. This returns a promise. And now to fetching all the notes when we load the page for the very first time. If you see when we load this, all these records are displaying it. So here we are using the get notes method here. So it will call this methods get docs. You can see it is available. Get docs is a function which is from Firestore. And here we are passing the database reference and then it returns a promise. And we are calling this method get set notes array. So we are looping through. You can see we are saying data.docs.map. For each item, we will be displaying that item here. And right here in the bottom position, we are displaying this. We are calling notes.array.map. So we are returning this. So this is for the adding and the showing of the blog post, guys. Now we will have a second component which will be actually be responsible for note details. So it will actually show the details of the. So you can make export default function note details. So here inside your component we can include this. So So simply include this. So here we will be passing the ID to it. So we will pass the ID to this component. That's it. As a property. Put it like this. So this will be having this as a property, guys. So inside this it will receive it as a props object. So first of all, guys, basically, so inside this we will again have the same, I think, node details we need to have. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. I think here you need to change the collection name, which is blog post. So now you can see we have these buttons out there. If you click any of these, click edit. So if you want to see my subscribers, guys, how many subscribers have I increased here? Let me show you. I'm really tired, guys, so I can't code now. So I had shown you the application, so you can hit the like button, subscribe button.